How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We got another Dokkan Battle video for you here today. We are taking down the Festival of Battles with our boys, the LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta, the 11th anniversary LR. So, we are here in the Fizz Movie 8 Goku phase. We got our rotations pretty much set up that we're going to keep until the end, until we kind of want to swap in Vegeta for some better links. But rotations throughout there we go. Hey, there goes that super, which we know at this point we should tank with the defense that we got. At this point, right, his raw defense is enough, even without the rainbow orbs for damage reduction, his raw defense is enough to tank all the way through the Vegito phase, which is real nice. There we go. And we get that EX super. So you can notice his EX super is kind of low, and that's because he's linked with Kai Goku. The rotations we basically kept throughout this whole thing were Kai Goku and Vegeta, and then on the other rotation, AGL Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta, the transforming one, of course. Now, we did this, number one, because having Kai Goku getting stacks up next to Vegeta, one allows some extra defense in case we need it, some stopgap defense, but it also allows Vegeta to build up pretty safely, since he won't have his full links active, at least this Vegeta. He won't have his full links active, right, meaning he's not blowing through phases, although there's nothing wrong with that. The other rotation, however, is pretty much blowing through every phase that they're on, which was kind of tricky early on, managing Vegeta stacks and AGL Goku stacks, but you get to a point where you'll eventually be attacking with both of them every turn, and it kind of evens out. So, yeah, and that's basically how we played this. So, eventually, I would say probably about Gogeta. There we go. Look at that, 130 mil on that EX Super with the Daima Goku. So the team is pretty much as you guys saw. It's the fours lead with Kai Goku, UI Goku, Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and AGL Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Now, the team has one major flaw, and that is key. I would say at about year 7, right? That's the other thing with Vegeta being solo. I would say at about year 7, we stopped getting key. Like, we were not getting fields like this. We were getting crazy fields, where we weren't really able to do much with, meaning we were very rarely getting our 18 key, let alone the EX Super. But there we go, right? So here at the end, we are making up for it. So you can see the difference in attack between the two Vegetas, right? The one with his GT links active versus the one with Kai Goku. It makes a huge difference, right? And in the early phases, it makes a real big difference for Vegeta, like blowing through phases. So it's fine the way it is, right? I mean, at any point here, we could switch into Goku and, annihilate some of these phases, but I do want to continue to let the fours kind of stack, at least until we get to the end of the Daima phase, or at least into Gogeta. But we'll see how this plays out. I mean, the Goku Movie 8 phase, not so bad here. I don't think we have too much to worry about. There we go. We're going to get an additional super. There we go. I love that Pokey. See, that's the cool thing I love about this Goku is, right, he's basically the best aging character from, 10th anniversary. I honestly got to say. I mean, all of the... There we go. Okay, so he should be able to eat this super. And that's kind of a nice thing about him, is that, right, year 10, he didn't really get to stay on the FOB team all that much. Like, he was there, but he wasn't a main rotation kind of character. But with the fours team, he can actually hang out on the main rotation, and help the fours just kind of annihilate these phases. And he really gets to shine here, right? Like, in year 10, I would have been afraid for him to take that super at this point, but no, not here, because he's been able to stay on rotation and stack the entire time, which is really nice. Excellent. Okay. All right, so we got Gogeta here. Finishing up. Now, the Daima phase is going to be a little tricky. Like I said, we got to a point where we weren't really stacking as much as I would have liked, and I think that really puts us in a predicament here, in terms of in terms of the amount of damage we can do, as well as timing the Dokkan attack. As you can see, we weren't able to time it well enough because the way with how fast these guys blow through the phases, we actually didn't proc the early. We proc the earlier Dokkan attack before this phase much sooner. So defensively, I'm actually not worried about anybody on this rotation unless I put UI Goku in slot 1, but with those Fizz orbs, it's probably not a bad idea. I don't know, this is tough. Let's see. I mean, we could get the full 24 key and get that EX Super. This is tough. Yeah, let's just take it with Vegeta. We need to I mean, the focus of this fight is Vegeta, so let's just let it happen. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to take that. So bank on the EX Super from the 4s and just let Kai Goku and UI Goku do their thing, I guess. I'm curious to see how much damage is going to come out of this rotation. I feel like it won't be much, but let's see. All right, so we get the EX Super with Vegeta, so that's another 10% stack. I'm not sure if I mentioned it earlier, but yes, right, having double 4s, if we can continuously proc the EX Super, that means we're given 10% attack raise to the entire team every single turn, plus an extra 44% attack and defense for themselves each turn. If we don't get the EX Super, Vegeta's only stacking 44% attack and 30% defense, so it's a little bit slower on the defensive side. So obviously, the more we get it, the more ideal it is. Dang. I would have liked for Vegeta to take a super there so we can get the key for UI Goku so he can get his EX Super. I guess not that it matters, but it does help with his damage. You know what we should have done? But, well, maybe we need it for Gogeta or Vegito. We should have swapped into Vegeta for the damage, especially since we're not getting the Dokkan attack. Yeah, we should have done that. Dang. But I feel like we might need it for the next phase, so... Okay, damage is really low this turn. Yeah, 46 million, yeah, okay. I don't know if UI Goku was the right choice. I almost feel like it would have been better to bring Pan for this. Now, she wouldn't be stacking as much as she could with her offense, but the orb changing, I think, would have helped me along the way to get the EX Supers more often. Because like I said, we did hit a point where we just stopped getting orbs, and it was really rough for those turns. Had a few close calls on the charge count. Okay. Alright, so... I don't like the looks of this, but I think we can make this work. Ugh, really? That's really what the best we can do? I do not like this one bit. Okay. Alright. I guess we take that. Is that going to give us something? No. Okay. We're going to have to use... yeah, I think we're going to have to use an item here. This is just... looking at the layout of the field here, and this is what I was talking about. I kept running into issues like this with the orbs. So, you know, we're going to have to make up the difference here with an item. And honestly, I don't care about using an item in Festival, right? Any other fight, yeah, we'll do this no item, no problem. But Festival is just one of those, like, if I was the kind of person who had hours upon hours upon hours upon hours to sit here and re-record and re-record and re-record and re-record till I got the perfect fob run where I didn't have to worry about items, where I got my orbs going the way I wanted every single time. If I could consistently do that to get the perfect no item, then I'd do it. But I don't. I'm lucky if I get the time to run one of these a day. So... you know, we got to make the, ooh, I like that. So yeah, I mean, there we go. Goku being consistently stacking throughout all of this means he's a viable option here at the end, which is not normally true for him. Normally you want to start hiding him towards the end, but because we've been able to keep him on this whole time and he's getting the extra buffs from the Vegetas, right? He's just working well. Excellent. Ooh, okay. I think he should be able to tank this at this point, actually. Yeah. There we go. I was going to say, if he tanked the last turn, he should definitely tank this turn. There we go. And we get the EX Super. Ooh, 270 million. I like that. And that's all on Goku. Actually, I'm kind of sad that that's on Goku. That needed to be on Glorio. But at least Goku's down, and we can get some good hits on Glorio. At least 200k, which means type advantage, right? We can drop at least half his health if we get a second crit super here. That is not a crit. And that is a normal. Okay, wow. Just talking about how we need that. Okay. Alrighty, so oof. Okay. I do. There we go. So we swap into Goku here. That way we can get the orb changing. So I didn't want to do this here, but I was hoping we could save it for the next phases. But I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? So let's grab that for the Vegeta. So we get that. We get those orbs. We'll take that. And then we'll send off Kai Goku here. So this should do the trick. There we go. 200 mil on that EX Super here. So that means we get... There we go. Okay. Really feeling the lack of crit on these guys. Yes, we have effective against all types, but... honestly, I feel like the crit is a little more helpful. There we go. Additional Super... Right, effective against all types used to work really well, right, when bosses didn't have such high damage reduction and high HP. Now, honestly, the crit works a little bit better. There we go. And 130 mil on Vegeta, and we haven't even used the active skill yet. Love it. Yeah. This is the other reason I don't mind using items in Festival, because, hey, we get to see big attack stats at the end, and it doesn't really affect overall the defense levels here, right? Everybody here was going to tank these normals regardless. And even if Glorio supers here, which he won't, we're going to kill right here. Even if Glorio supers right here, right, we would die anyways, right? So it doesn't really at this point, it's not really affecting our defense, more so it's just letting us do bigger attack numbers. There we go. We get an additional. And again, I don't have the time to try this again. We're here. I want to get this I want to do this video, right? And so we may as well just run it. Okay, so here we are. We are in the Gogeta phase. This is where things are going to get interesting, because now we're going to start popping those actives. Alright, so we swap into Goku here. Alright, so let's see. Okay, I want to see something with Goku here. Okay, so we get his orbs. Okay, so we get crit 40. Alright, and then 2 additional attacks with the orbs. But we need 7, and that is 6. I don't like that. Okay, but what if we go into Vegeta here? Okay, what if we do that? Okay, what if we just save the orbs? Right, so we hold 1 turn. Yeah, okay, and we're going to get the Dokkan attack here too, actually, so that'll make up. And then we will take the Super, so actually UI has a possibility, because he's going to get Ki too for taking this Super. Alright, nice. And there we go. And now UI has the 24 key, which means he should be able to get his EX skill. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Alright, so we've got this. Alright, we've got this. Alright, and we get the EX Super skill for some more stackage. Alright, so this is actually going to be... Yeah, so if we play this right... Okay, yeah, I think this is going to play out right. Alright, so if we play this right, the next turn we'll use the other Goku's active. And then on the following turn we'll use this Goku's active. And I think that should carry us through the Vegeta and the Vegito and the Gogeta phases. I'm thinking. I actually want to see how much damage it does, but... Very nice. Alright. Oh, you know what we should have done? We should have used, because I don't think we're going to see UI again. We should have just went ahead and used that active on Vegeta and switched back into UI. All right, we get an additional super for 90 mil. Again, this is what I'm saying. Having him on, buffing up the Vegeta and being able to stack up himself more so than we would normally let him. I love this, right? I should do a full Giant 8 power team now. I feel like that's it. It's very distinctly possible now. Of course he didn't miss. Of course he didn't get the EX Super. That's all right. We don't really need his. Well, actually, we kind of do. We cannot take those normals. He needs to dodge. Okay, so since we didn't get the EX Super, we're going to have to bank on him getting those dodges in that 70% chance to dodge, because this could hurt. There we go. We get an additional super. Okay, I mean, we're getting some damage in. Yeah, we definitely should have went into Vegeta, though. Oh, wow. Okay, I did not expect him to tank the normals. All right, I'll take that. Okay, here. So let's switch into Goku. This one here. He should be okay, right? Yeah, he should be okay. In slot 1?
Here I go.
I don't know. See, now I'm nervous. I feel like we need the damage that's going to come out of him, though. We still got 3 turns that we could work with this.
I won't lose.
You know what? Let's just do it. Let's just pop the active. Oh, wow. Jesus. I'm sorry. What? That I did not expect. Okay. All right. Let's do it. And with that defense there, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's going to... He can outright tank this in the Goku side now. Okay. That worked. I did not mean for that. I didn't think that would happen, but okay. We also have a 40% chance to dodge right now, too. That's the other thing. Hey, there goes the super. So we should be able to outright tank this now. Since it is the active skill turn. Oh, okay. I'll take a 40% charge. 390 million. Woo, boy. That is fun. Oh, man. He's going to do too much damage, isn't he? We're not going to be able to get Goku's EX Super off, are we? There we go. All right. Yeah, if we get all of Goku's supers here, we're not getting it. We're not getting it. Oh, yeah. And then there goes the last one, normal. Okay. Okay. Well, it is what it is. I mean, that was still kind of cool. Okay. Wow, that was a lot of damage. Okay. So here we are in the final phase. We made it to Vegito. So we'll switch into Goku now, and let's go ahead and let's pop that active skill. Well, actually, first let's use our item here, and then we'll pop that active skill. So I think we're tapped out. Since we already used the items, we may as well tap everything out here, so we can have some fun here, and see how high this attack stack goes. So I'm going to turn on the animations here so we can see.
Gather energy from the entire universe. Citizens of the universe, give me all your energy! Thank you, everyone. This is it.
Nice. Shame we didn't crit, though. I mean, you saw how much that did to Gogeta when we did the crit. So we did about a little under a quarter of his health here. So let's go ahead and turn the animations back off. And let's pop Goku. You see, yeah, much better when you get that crit, right? Okay, so we got a little under half his health here. Ooh, look at that. And we got a nice lineup of 7 orbs here for Goku. So he will also be able to tank, he will also be able to tank here Vegito, even pre-super. So let's bring it on. Oh, okay. Wow. Did that say 470 million? Okay. Nice. Wow. 470 million. That is amazing. Excellent. And we get one more. Yeah, there we go. 370. Jesus. Yeah, Goku is a monster in Festival. There we go. We get another one. Oh, that's a normal. Oh, jeez. We just dropped 2 health bars with a normal. Woo! All right. So there goes the festival battles with the INT Super Saiyan 4s. Gotta love it. Gotta love these runs. This is. Hey, it can be fun. I know festival can be a bit of a chore, and you know, honestly, I do wish I had more time to try out some of these runs. You know, maybe push that no item, but you know, it is what it is. With a fight that takes 2-3 hours long, you got to do what you got to do, right? I would have hated to have wasted the 3 hours here it took to do this video because we fell short on a charge count. But the point was, to get the 4s as far as they can, and right, with or without the items for those big attack numbers, right, with or without that, they still would have been able to tank all the way through the final phases with the defense that they had before we had used the items. As well, right, we would done a significant chunk to their HP with those active skills. In fact, I do want to try to get a run full Giant Ape Power or full GT Heroes where we can get the double Super Saiyan 4 Goku active skill turn, because that is a pretty big damaging turn. I think we can do it. We just got to, plan that out in game. I have a strategy, and I think I might work. So stay tuned for that one. That's one's going to be really fun. So, guys, that is it for the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let us know what other team setups do you want us to try out with the Super Saiyan 4s, whether it's in Festival of Battles or in the upcoming Grand Tour for them. Let us know what you would like us to do in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.